Donegal town, the train had to reverse as the main line ran to Kilbegs, with the Ballyshannon line coming in from the east. The locomotive was serviced here before taking the train bunker first to its destination, where the passengers had a mile-long walk to the sea. Note the special saloon in the background at Ballyshannon. Back at Donegal town, we see a normal service train arriving, formed of 2 rail cars plus a steam coach. Normally 1 rail car would suffice, but this was a bank holiday. The rail cars had to be turned, complete with passengers, as they were single-ended vehicles. The driver's cab was a separate unit, mounted on the 4-coupled chassis, but articulated the passenger cabin. 2 of these machines survive today, having travelled halfway across the Irish Sea to the Isle of Man, where the splendid Victorian Isle of Man steam railway continues to find a use for them. With those rail cars now turned, an additional coach is added to the train, which sets off over the mountains alongside Donegal Bay. These rail cars were used very much like road buses, with steps down to ground level allowing them to stop anywhere, not just at conventional stations. But even they failed to save the day for the charming Irish narrow gauge. Many people had their holidays in the United Kingdom, and the holiday paradise was the West Country, billed as the English Riviera by the Great Western Railway. To this end, the railway provided holiday accommodation of its own to supplement the hotels and boarding houses of Torbay, Newquay and St Ives. At a number of small wayside stations, redundant coaching stock was parked in sidings and connected up to local services, the resulting camping coaches providing very cheap holidays at a time when youth groups and schools were first arranging holiday programs. Many boys were loco spotters and, of course, were the target audience of the railway roundabout programs. A holiday in a railway carriage was thus something very special, complete with loco spotting. Garlow Bridge was an intermediate station on the Kingsbridge line in South Devon, close to where Pat Whitehouse was enjoying a 2-week holiday. He went to the little station on the Saturday to record these scenes of a time and innocence now gone forever. Although the delights of Paynton or Plymouth were easily reached by train, the revellers appeared quite happy to besport themselves in the river or the fields beside the station. The coaches themselves were former mainline corridor stock, which were brought to the line at the beginning of each season and returned to Swindon at the end of it for winter maintenance and overhaul. The signal on the right gave access to the camping coach siding. The Midland Railway's main line from Bristol to Birmingham is famous in railway circles for the severe gradient it encounters as it passes over the Lickey Hills, just south of the Midland city. The top of the climb is at Blackwell, where we join some loco spotters as they view 2 British Railway Standard Class 5 460s, the second coming up the bank with a Standard Class 9F at the back. The top of the climb is immediately to the south of the platforms, where a Stanier Class 5 shows the extent of its severity. On the back of this train is a Western Region Class 4200-280 tank, number 5226, which dates these sequences after May 1958. The Midland Main Line had been placed in the Western Region after nationalization in 1948. The Lickey Bank starts at Bromsgrove Station, and from the platform can be seen the foot of the bank. Banking engines would come down the bank light engine, frequently in convoy, especially when the line was busy. They were stabled in sidings to the west of the line. Alongside the big 280 can be seen a Hawksworth pannier tank. These became the standard bankers under the Great Western regime, the 4200 only lasting a short while. Banking engines were classified on a special system, based on the power of an LMS Ginty tank, the forebears to the panniers. The 280 was equal 1.5, in other words, equivalent to 1.5 Gintys. The panniers were equal 1, and the BR9F equal 2, so the 1.5 tank didn't fit neatly into the system. The most famous Lickey banker was Big Bertha, a unique Midland Railway 010O, which had been scrapped and replaced in 1956 by a BR Standard Class 9F 210O. This engine inherited Big Bertha's powerful headlamp for buffering up at night. This train has =3 banking power. The old order is seen here as two of the Gintys are passed by an LMS Class 2P 440 on one of the infrequent local passenger trains calling at Bromsgrove. These varied the pattern by having the bankers buffering up in the platform, as all other trains stopped outside the station. Even a 4-coach train needed a banker, as the gradient was 1 in 37.7 for a distance of 2 miles. Another 2P climbs the bank, with a gas wagon at the back. These wagons were used to deliver gas to railway stations before the national distribution system was installed. On the footplate of the banker, we see the procedure at the top of the bank as the train accelerates away from our Ginty. Banking engines didn't couple up for obvious reasons.